My name is Clark W. Griswold, and not only are we going to give you some winners today, we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny freaking Kaye.
Hi, I'm Scott Long, and I work with a maniac. That's what makes this show fun. What other better programming is going on right now? Don't turn. Just stay with us. All Indiana Bets happening right now.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. We are all Caesars.
Welcome and Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Jason Hammer. That is Scott Long. We are your holiday friends today. The way I see it, Scott, people have a couple of options.
Yeah.
You can have that stupid Yule log on the screen.
Right.
You could be watching Christmas movies over and over again.
You've seen them all millions of times.
Or we could talk about Nick Foles and all the things that he brings to the table and how he could possibly make you some cash. Because the Colts, they are hosting Monday Night Football.
Again?
On Wish TV.
That makes it better.
This station tomorrow, and the Colts are 4.5-point home dogs against the Chargers. Scott, Nick Foles, his Colts debut. Does this do anything for you?
Hey, the Colts are not boring.
No.
You know, there's a lot of things going on, but the Colts aren't boring. Last week, Hammer went on this massive rant against the Colts, about 98% factual. Probably your all-time record. I'm going to
Come on. What backhanded shot was that?
Hey, listen, I'm just going to say this right now. The Colts covered the spread last week. They brought family holiday cheer to my home, but it was dismal. And this season has been dismal. And the coaching is just, who knows at this point? I'm just so tired of it all, including our offensive coordinator, who obviously he's way too young to be doing this. The offense was not good last week. People think it was. It wasn't. That was special teams and defense. But the Chargers are just not that good of a team either. Herbert's been playing and carrying the team totally. I think the Chargers will be flat. Did they not watch the Colts? I think the Colts will actually feel so embarrassed that they might actually play hard. So these are my mentals. I can't look at it statistically and give you a reason why the Colts are going to cover, but I believe it in my heart. And my heart has been on fire.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yes, so there we go. Colts.
I'm waiting for the Colts to hang that banner up inside of Lucas Oil Stadium, right next to that AFC finalist banner.
Yeah.
Covered the spread against the Vikings. Led 33-0 at halftime against the Vikings.
Always up.
But you're right. They covered the spread somehow, some way, and I agree with you. I think the Colts get just enough to cover the spread, and maybe this says more about the Chargers than it says about the Colts. Look, we all agree, Justin Herbert is one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. But for some reason, they're not putting up the video game type numbers they should be putting up with a gunslinger like Justin Herbert. They're just not putting up those numbers. So you're going to get a little bit of an emotional boost. The crowd's going to be interested in seeing what Nick Foles can do. It's Monday Night Football, even when your season's over. And the Colts have officially been eliminated from the playoff race. Guys are playing for a number of different things. Contracts for next year. Maybe they're trying to show out for different teams. Nick Foles, he wants to play in the league next year, so you're going to get everything that he's got to offer. I don't know if the Colts win the game, but I don't need them to win the game. I think they stick around, and I think the Colts cover with 4.5. Now, with all of that being said,
Yeah.
Scott, here's a little prop bet that I feel pretty good about. Longest field goal in this game. Over or under 47.5 yards.
Right.
I love the over. I love the over because these are two teams that, for whatever reason, flounder in the red zone, don't score a lot of offensive touchdowns, but they're good enough to get into position. And with this being indoors, you don't have to worry about the cold, frigid weather that a lot of teams have had to deal with this weekend. I think this one makes a lot of sense. Longest field goal, over 47.5 yards. That's a fun little prop bet you can make on this game.
As bad as this season's been, let's give a little props, not the actual prop, to the special teams. The special teams of the Colts have been top 5 in the NFL. Just think about how much worse this team would be without that. I feel badly for old special teams coach Bubba, who's really doing a great job. He's probably wishing I could get back to New England. I don't know what's happening, but I hope they hold on to him, whatever new coach comes through.
So if you want to get a head start on our picks, maybe you've got some Christmas stuff to do. That, my friends, that's not an RV, that's a QR code. Scan that bad boy. You can get all the picks that Scott and I have got lined out for today, or you can hang out, pour yourself a cup of holiday cheer, and hang out with your TV pals. It's Christmas. Let's have a little fun here. Let's make some cash. Let's make so much money, we're getting a head start on next Christmas. And again, all eyes are on this Colts game, and all eyes are going to be on Wish TV. Right here, Monday night, coverage begins at 4. AC, the news crew, everybody, even myself, Scott. I recorded a little betting segment.
What?
4 until kickoff, and then the game, and then AC and the gang, they've got the post-game show. Nobody has you covered for Monday Night Football than Wish TV. When we come back, we're going to do a little feeling it or fading, a Christmas edition, if you will, right here on All Indiana Bets. Pour some eggnog, spike it with something hard from Evan Williams, and come on back.
All Indiana Bets is presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sports betting app you need.
Time to play a little holiday edition of Feeling It or Fading It, a special Christmas Day odds boost being offered by our friends at Caesars Sportsbook. So let's get into it. The first one is called Green Bay Ground Game Boost. Packers running back Aaron Jones to rush for over 79.5 yards and score a touchdown, boosted to plus 420. I know Elon Musk likes it. Do you, Scott Long?
That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of info. The only number that matters to me is that plus 420. There you go. I'm taking the feel on that, and only because of what we're looking at in regards to how much money you can make. I think against the Cardinals, with the Packers knowing that they're, wait a minute, the Packers are not playing the Cardinals, right? I think they're playing the Dolphins.
Packers are playing the Dolphins.
Wait a minute. Scott's brain just needed a new battery like the mic thing. What up?
Too much eggnog.
I wish. I'll start
I made the eggnog, by the way, and it's a little stiff.
I love the Dolphins defense. Not against the Packers running game, though. So not the best break I've ever done. Let's just move out of that one.
Well, that was a train wreck. I'm feeling it as well. Let's move on. Sometimes you just gotta move on. Next, we call this one, well, we don't, but Caesars calls it the GOAT and Uncle Lenny boost, okay? So Tom Brady to throw for over 1.5 touchdowns and Leonard Fournette to score a rushing touchdown against Arizona, the Cardinals.
There they are.
Boosted to plus 375. Does this do anything for you?
It does, and it's why I don't make fun of Tom Brady's age. You just saw my last segment and what I did.
Sure.
I just collapsed on live TV.
We're this close to putting Grandpa in a home.
Wow, feels so good when you say that, by the way. So I feel that. I'm really fading Hammer at this point, but what am I going to say? I screwed everything up. Hammer, what would you say?
All right, so the inner hip-hop kid inside of me is about to come out. The South Side kid that listened to all the gangster rap is about to come out of me. When I say sucker, you say bets. Sucker.
Bet.
Sucker.
Bet.
And that's what these bets are. They're sucker bets. Parlay bets are sucker bets. It doesn't matter if it's 2 legs, 3 legs, 8 legs. Anytime you see the word parlay on it, it's a fade for me. Last one. Of course, the Christmas punt parlay boost. Dolphins, Rams, and Cardinals. All of them have to punt on their very first offensive series. It's boosted to plus 320. I think you know where I'm at, Scott. Are you feeling this or are you fading it?
Well, I'm not going to feel every one of them, especially after I had to say bets after you called me a sucker.
That was your penance for the first break.
No, I deserve a lot of that. There's no way the Dolphins are probably going to punt the first one. That's really what it comes down to. All it takes is one of these three. It is totally a sucker bet here. I faded.
And so many things have to happen for you to win this bet.
3 teams.
A turnover beats you. Driving to score beats you. Something screwy beats you. All of these things have to line up for you to win this thing. And for that, I'm out. Parlay bets are sucker bets. I know you're probably at the holiday table and all of your family and friends are there and they're talking about, well, I won an 8-leg parlay once. I won a 6-leg parlay once. Hey, congratulations. How many of those bad boys have you lost over the last couple of years since sports betting's been illegal in the state of Indiana? I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. You're not even close to being 500. Parlay bets are sucker bets. Scott, give me a bet that we can take to the bank.
Well, I was talking about a game that I got half right.
You did.
And
We'll
it was
take
called
it.
the Packers at the Dolphins.
Glass half full, baby.
Now it's all full because I will share with you why I don't think, of course, the Dolphins are going to punt. I think the Packers defense will not travel well. They're going to be happy to leave Green Bay to go down to Miami. Miami does really well if they have good seasons or bad in December at home. It's such a transition. And the Dolphins, oh my gosh, aren't they happy to be home? They were on the road 3 weeks. None of those games went well at all. I think people forgot how good the Dolphins were after overrating them the last 3 weeks. I love the amount of points I've gained on this. It was probably 7 2 weeks ago. Take the Dolphins.
I'm going to keep it on the same game here, but I'm looking at the total on this one, and it's a big number. We're talking about 50 points here. Over under a set at 50. That is way too many points here. Are the Dolphins pretty good? Sure. Can Aaron Rodgers once in a while find lightning in a bottle? Sure, absolutely. But you're going to need a lot of stuff to happen here for this over to cash. I don't think you're getting there. This number's too high. Nobody likes to bet the under. Like, you don't want to root for punts. You don't want to root for interceptions, and I get it. But sometimes to win the cash money, you got to do what's best, and the under is the play right here. Now, when we come back, we have got the long shot. Now, if you're not familiar with the long shot and Scott Long, he has been a lean, mean, winning machine. He is going to give you a game that's got crazy odds, but if you bet on it, you can win. He's been on fire. That's coming up next.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
We have moved to the bar for the holiday cheer. Merry Christmas from all Indiana bets. This is the Lunazol Añejo. Now, did I say this right? It's A with an N with like a little accent thing above it. E-J-O, Añejo.
Hey, let's just drink it.
Yes. Cheers. Now, if my Beach Grove High School education is correct, I believe añejo is Spanish for chest hair.
Wow, okay.
I don't know, I'm making it up. Give me
got
a
a
winner.
little bit there.
We are here for winners today. We're having a good time. It's Christmas. Can't get Christmas going without a winner.
There has been no show that's shown more chest hair in football this year.
Preach. Ladies, you're welcome.
If you haven't seen our show before, there have been 2 bets this year that caused Hammer and I to not be wearing maybe a shirt under our blazer. And maybe one of us lost the button on one of those blazers at a certain point when he was in Akron reenacting. What I will tell you is it's bowl season, and be careful, Hammer. Be very careful when it comes to bowls. That is a whole brave new world. About 4 or 5 years ago, people used to just all of a sudden start saying, I got an NFL career. I'm declaring myself out. But you knew what was going on.
Right.
Now in the last year, everybody is transferring out. A lot of players aren't happy. A lot of coaches are flying in and out. But the coaches aren't as focused on the games, at least a lot of them, because of why? Because they're focused on getting new players. There's so many people in the portal that you've got to be focused on that. It's not about this season, it's about next season. So now you got a Kansas team who's not been to a bowl game. This is thrilling for them. And they're playing Arkansas. This game is in Memphis. It's close to both teams. Both teams will have fan bases there. Who knows what the weather's going to be like? I would just like Kansas because I think Kansas will play harder. I've seen the up and down world of Arkansas, who almost lost to a smaller college team earlier. Bobby Petrino, missed him. And then they also beat good teams, and then they lose to Liberty. Who knows what Arkansas team's going to show up? That's a lot of talk just to say I like Kansas +3.
Now, I've made my pick on this game earlier in our programs. I like Arkansas. Their quarterback, Jefferson, he's coming back for another year. And if he wants any shot at the next level playing at the NFL, it starts with this bowl game. So I like Arkansas. But let's talk a little Carolina on Carolina violence. Can we do that? This isn't quite a degenerate special because, again, at this time of year, if you're still playing, you're not really a degenerate, but it's close. Coastal Carolina, East Carolina, and the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina getting over a touchdown in this one. And what we've seen from Coastal Carolina this year is when they're underdogs, they play their best football. I don't know what kind of speeches their coaches give them that week at practice. They're counting us out. Everybody thinks that the other team's going to win. Well, it works, so keep on doing it. I like Carolina getting over a touchdown in this one. Should be pretty close, and I want the team getting more than a touchdown. That's what you get in bowl season. Sometimes things go out the window, crazy games. I want more than a touchdown. Give me the Chanticleers, with 7.5. Now, when we come back, the Lunazol locks. We've already had a Lunazol shot.
Thank you.
We're going to give you the shot to have a Lunazol lock. That is coming up next, right here on All Indiana Bets.
The Lunazol Lock is brought to you by Lunazol Tequila.
You know, there's so many people that come up to me and they'll say, it doesn't seem like you guys do anything that you don't want to do with this show. it's like Hammer's like college fantasy has come true. He just wears hockey jerseys with Griswold on it, laughs like it's hilarious, drinks shots, bets on games. You're right. That's what we do. That's what our message is. Have fun with this. Gamble, but have fun. Gamble responsibly, but have fun with it. These bowl games, they're not all good. Here's one of them coming up right now, the Lunazol lock. Oklahoma, Florida State.
If this were 1989, this would be a phenomenal game.
Even when Jameis Winston was there and Stoops and that, it's not great now. Okay, but Florida State showed the first week of the year, was that all LSU not playing bad? No, Florida State was good. I would argue they've been the best team in the ACC. That's not saying a lot, but Oklahoma is what I'm speaking about. This line was 7.5. That's when I bet it. I don't love it as much at 9, but it's under 10. Venables has got a disaster going on there. He watched Lincoln Riley go to USC and almost make him a national championship contender. And Oklahoma is terrible. Look at that record, and it's not going to get better. This is only a defense that Oklahoma has, a horrible Oklahoma offense. When's the last time you could say that? Never. Sad times in Oklahoma. Get out there and start recruiting the portal, Venables, because Florida State's going to bring a boot to the Cheez-Its Bowl.
So what you're telling me is that Oklahoma might not be ready for the SEC just yet.
No, this is a disaster. And then you got old Texas popping in who couldn't even win in the Big 12.
Speaking of the SEC, let's turn our attention, to Lane Kiffin. Now listen, full disclosure, I'm a Tennessee Volunteers guy. And the name Lane Kiffin is only spoken in certain parts of back alleys in Volunteer Nation. But I will say this. Take last year out of the equation when his quarterback was injured in the game. Matt Corral, injured early, screwed up the whole game. Lane Kiffin takes these bowl games seriously. And if you're an IU fan, maybe you remember this. That the 1 year Indiana thought they deserved to play in a better bowl game than the Outback Bowl or whatever it was against Ole Miss, to the point to where they were covering up the Big Ten logo on their jerseys. Remember what happened in that game? Ole Miss went in and beat the brakes off the Hoosiers. And I'm looking at this right here. Ole Miss, Texas Tech, laying 3.5. Give me the Fighting Lane Kiffins. The season's been up and it's been down for Ole Miss, but against Texas Tech in a bowl game, giving Lane Kiffin time to prepare for this one. I love this one as much as it kills every fiber of my being a card-carrying member of the Big Orange Army. Go with Lane Kiffin here, laying 3.5.
I can't imagine what fiber could kill your being, considering all the other things that you put into it.
Well, my being is loaded up with Lunazol and Añejo. And I know I'm butchering this name.
Delicioso.
But they don't teach you how to say this name on the south side of Indianapolis where I grew up. Lunazol and Añejo.
Stop saying it. I think you're getting way further away where there's FCC violations that could possibly happen. What's happening next, Hammer?
We got our final picks of the show.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, man, the clock is ticking, and if you want to make some money, we got a couple more picks for you to take advantage of next on All Indiana Bets. I feel like this is our Christmas special.
It is.
If you grew up watching those cheesy Christmas specials on TV, like this is Hammer and Scott's Smoky Mountain Christmas, where at any moment you're gonna hear a doorbell and Dolly Parton's gonna show up with a guitar. Like that's what I wanted to happen for this show. Maybe we can get a guest here in a moment, but until then, Scott, give us a pick.
Wow, Santa did not bring us a bunch of good games in the NFL. This was a lot of coals in the stocking. And here we go. This is one of the really bad ones. The Broncos and
At the beginning of the year, this was a great game.
It seemed like it was going to be the Super Bowl champ and Russell Wilson. I'm sure it would have been it probably was a Sunday night game that they had to dump. They knew this 4 weeks in. But I look at it as this. Neither one of these quarterbacks can put the ball in the end zone. Even the magical Mayfield game, where they score 17 points. I'm just trying to tell you, play the under, maybe check in on the second half, and have a good time doing something else with your family, okay? This is the game to not tune into.
One of my favorite bowl games every year is the Holiday Bowl. Because the Holiday Bowl, they're just completely transparent. They know what they're looking for.
Right.
They don't want anybody that's going to play any defense.
No.
They want good offense. They want points on the board. We want a West Coast team and somebody else that can score. No. And that's what they got here. But this total, 74? 74, Oregon and North Carolina. So in order to hit this over, you basically need touchdowns and points on every single drive. If somebody has a pick, a fumble, if there's punts, if there's field position, you're beat. You're beat. This is going to be a lot of points. This is going to be a lot of touchdowns, but this is too many. I don't like betting the under any more than you do. I would actually enjoy if this were over 74, but the smart money is on the under in the Holiday Bowl, Oregon against North Carolina.
Now, I asked for Peter, our producer, to come in because I got gifts.
Well, so I talked about maybe having Dolly Parton, but instead we get Peter.
What else could you want other than a grown man wearing an elf sweater?
That's a solid sweater, it really is.
I forgot my hat. I have a hat just like that,
I feel
too.
like there's a 2-something joke over there. So what I would share is Peter, before I have you open, I want to give this to Hammer. I found this
Oh.
shirt for you.
Well, thank you, Scott.
I got you the Norm Macdonald last year. The most iconic
Yes.
photo ever. Len Dawson
Smoking a heater,
in the-
drinking a Fresca.
at Super Bowl halftime against the Vikings. Super
Oh,
Bowl
this is
IV.
amazing.
Classic.
Thank you.
must really feel
Who is
badly.
Len Dawson? He must have played football before I was born or something.
Oh,
Is that
Purdue
like-
fans, make some noise. One of the greatest photos of all time from one of your guys.
I'm just
Maybe
kidding. I know who
Stephen
Len Dawson
Hood
is.
probably was born about
big
that
Len
time.
Dawson fan, yeah. Yeah.
Now you're going to be having a baby.
Yes.
When is that going to be happening?
April 2nd.
And it is going to be a girl.
Yes.
Can we gamble on the due date?
Already done. Already
Okay.
done. The odds have been set.
Okay, now I got this thinking of you and your daughter.
Oh.
Look at this cute.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, look at that.
When I
love
showed
it.
it to Hammer first, he goes, "Is that for Peter?" And I'm like, "That's not fair. That is for his beautiful daughter. I can't wait. Feel it. It's going to be
It's
nice.
very soft.
Take it,
I
Peter.
appreciate that.
I really did think that was for Peter. I'm not going to lie.
You know what's great too? Right around playoff time is when she'll be born. So if
There
the
we go.
Pacers make the playoffs,
She'll look adorable.
Great.
speaking of,
She can watch the playoffs with all the Pacer players at home.
oh, that's a hot
Oh,
take.
come on. I'm a
Hey,
Pacer fan.
I got-
But let's not get expectations carried away.
I got you guys some gifts. So
Okay.
inside these
Oh,
stockings, I got one
okay.
for Hammer,
Okay.
one for Scott.
I know what you make, so it's not going to be cash.
Inside, it's the thought that counts, Scott. It's the thought
Thank
that
you,
counts.
thought.
This,
Thank you.
this is
There's
what's
no thoughts
inside,
going on here.
or your head either. Let's go back to
Hey,
that
I
second
brought
segment.
gifts.
Here's what's inside of these stockings. These are bet slips.
Okay.
College basketball bet slips, NBA bet slips involving the Pacers. And on the other side of the break, I'm gonna
Oh, I don't
just
open it up
pause. No,
now.
not yet. We gotta take a break here.
Because I got to go to the vending machine and buy a gift because I didn't get anybody anything.
Yeah, Hammer's that guy. Hammer didn't show up with the gift. You guys are gonna open these stockings. There's bet slips in each of them, and you're gonna decide if you want to keep the bet slips or if you want to throw them away.
I like this.
We're gonna do that next.
Let's do it.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your first bet is on Caesars. Bet up to $1,250. And if you don't win, you'll get it back as a free bet. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and over.
Hammer, we've been doing this show almost 2 years. Caesars has been part of it. I want to thank them. They've been great sponsors. Actually, I did their Christmas party 2 weeks ago, so thank them. Also, now we have this little game. What do you call this?
I don't know what the official title is, but Peter, our producer, came in and brought us these stockings. So I'm going to call it Peter's Sack of Fun.
Okay, that's the worst title ever, but it probably fits our show.
So I'm going to reach my hand in here. You're going to reach your hand in here.
I just did.
He's got 3 different betting slips in here, and we're going to see if we like these or not. You go first.
Okay. So, Tyrese Halliburton to win NBA's Most Improved Player Award. It's only plus 350 now. I'm sure that's. What do you think? I don't know.
Is that one you would keep, or is that one you would try to get rid of? I think I might try to keep that one.
If they make the playoffs, then you can maybe keep that, though. It's Indiana. A lot of Indiana players ever win awards.
But the best thing to happen to Tyrese Halliburton is Wally Szczerbiak opening his mouth for the Knicks, because now you've made him a sympathetic figure. In case you missed it, Wally Szczerbiak, announcer for the Knicks for some reason, completely just threw Halliburton under the bus to the point to where he had to issue an on-air apology. It's gone viral. Again, people like sympathetic figures. I'd hang on to that one.
There's a reason why nobody names their kid Wally anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's mine. Pacers to participate in a play-in game this year at plus 100. I love the Pacers. I go to games. I root for the guys. I like what I see so far. But keep in mind, it's a little bit of fool's gold because they've had the easiest schedule, one of the easiest in the NBA. It's going to get a lot harder. I don't think they get there.
Well, and that's plus 100. It's about numbers
Right.
here, you know. You're looking at 350, that's kind of tasty.
Right.
100, I don't know. So this one is folded up. Trace Jackson Davis to win the Wooden Award at plus 1,200. Now that's some juicy odds. Plus 1,200. If you're an IU fan, maybe you put $10 on it because it could make it fun, but it would just make you angrier at Xavier Johnson or whoever else is playing point guard there. He's the best big man IU has had. I don't know, in 20 years, and all of a sudden you can't get the ball to him? That is ridiculous. Do you want any part of this one?
Throw it away. Throw it away. Indiana, the Hoosiers, to win the Big Ten at plus 450, Scott. Unfortunately, I'm going to put this one next to the Trace Jackson Davis prop, next to the Pacers prop, because there's a team in West Lafayette that's got their eyes on the Big Ten championship. The juice is there, but again, it does you no good. It might as well be plus $1 million. It's not going to happen.
There's more than Purdue that's ahead of Indiana. I'm sorry. Okay, so, here we go. Speaking of Purdue to win the national title, plus 1,600.
So 16-1 for Purdue, the #1 team in America, to win the Natty.
I love this one because there's not a great team out there. Is Houston a great team? Have they won a national championship ever, with Sampson? It's been like since Olajuwon was there. That's not the same Houston team. They're a grinded out team, kind of similar to Purdue. Why not Purdue at plus 1,600? Plus 600, I would put it in this fireplace. Plus 1,600, as soon as I get home and my kids are like, hey, Dad, how'd the show go? I'm like, shh, gotta make a bet on Purdue plus 1,600. I'm putting this in here.
It's not Christmas until Scott tells his kids to be quiet. All right, this is my last one here in Peter's Bag of Fun, or whatever we're calling this. Ben Mathurin to win NBA 6th Man of the Year at plus 800. You know what? I kind of like this one. Pacers, they are one of the leaders in the NBA in points off the bench, and I'm telling you, it's not because of what you're getting from Chris Duarte or Goga Batadze. It's because of one guy, Benedict Mathurin. This dude's a bulldog. I love his attitude. I'm going to hang on to this one. Plus 800 for a dude that's good for 20 pretty much every night. I'm good with this one.
Hammer, I'm going to give you another gift. I'm going to give you this Tyrese Halliburton one, which I think most improved player.
Okay.
Plus 350. I think you like that one.
I do like that one.
I don't like either one of those. I'll take my Purdue one and go home with it.
All right. So that has concluded Peter's Sack, Peter's Bag of Fun, or whatever the official title is of this segment.
Just gets worse, the names.
Peter's Big Red Bag. All right, when we come back, we will recap our picks on this Christmas holiday.
Let's do that.
This is the day. We're going 10 for 10 today. That's the day we're going to have next. Merry Christmas from all Indiana bets. Now, before we get into the recaps here, Scott, let's have some real talk here. With this being Christmas, tomorrow, more than likely, all the radio stations that play Christmas music will go back to traditional music.
Right.
If there's one Christmas song that you'd be just fine with never, ever, ever hearing again, what would it be?
I'm a huge Beatles fan. I love myself some Paul McCartney, but that simply having a
Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh my, that do-do-do, do-do-do. I mean, this guy is a musical genius, but it was like he had like one of those like kid like organs that he just hit a button on, do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. That is just mind-numbing, okay, Paul? You know what, I know you've made millions and billions of dollars. What is your thought on that song, can I ask?
Any Christmas song from Beatles members, I think, has been a turd. I don't like John Lennon. So this is, no, it's so boring.
Oh, I love
it
that
sucks the life right out of the room. You know what else does? The 12 Days of Christmas. It's exhausting.
It is.
And there's no possible way that in today's society, with the inflation and the supply chain issues, anybody could come close to getting those items. So if you want to weigh in on this conversation, at Scott Comedy on Twitter, at Jason Allen Hammer on Twitter, let's make some money.
I got to pay for 12 days of Christmas, so let's see what happens here.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
And speaking of it exhausting, it's the Colts. You never know what's going to happen with the Colts, but you know they're going to be on Monday night here. That's the most exciting thing you can say about the Colts. You never know. We got a third quarterback. Who knows what they probably have the same grab bag, the Peter grab bag that we have. They just pull a name out. Foles finally gets the quarterback.
Nick Foles week.
Dolphins. Like the Dolphins to bounce back. This is a huge game for them. They're about to fall out of the playoff race if they keep losing games. Kansas +3. I think they're going to be more motivated than Arkansas. Florida State -9. This is a massive fade of Oklahoma, and I've liked what I've seen in a huge bounce back year for Florida State. Denver versus the Rams. This is a horrible game. Don't have any part of it. Just put your money in and check the next day like you're in 1982 looking at the Star in the newspaper.
I'm with Scott. I like the Colts getting the points here at home, Monday Night Football. All the pressure is on the Chargers. Colts are eliminated. They got nothing to worry about. They can play footloose and fancy-free. Packers and the Dolphins under 50. Too many points. Coastal Carolina against Eastern Carolina. I want the Carolina getting the touchdown and the hook. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. He's going to take this seriously. And Oregon against UNC in the Holiday Bowl. I love the Holiday Bowl, but good Lord, 74 points, we're going under. Those are our picks. Peter, Merry Christmas, my friend. What do you have?
Hey, Scott, I hate to tell you, I tried this on in the commercial break.
Don't say anymore. Go ahead. That was so good, though.
It's a little small. This is a 12M. I think I might need a 14, but my daughter will love it, though. I'm sure she'll look much better.
I had $5 at it being too big. I got to be honest with you.
No, you were wrong there. Too small, but listen, my daughter will love it. Appreciate you, Scott. And here's a couple Christmas gifts for the viewers out there. There's 3 NFL games on. You guys know I'm big on teasers, so we had to give out a teaser with the 3 NFL games. Bucks aren't losing. Tom Brady's not losing to Trace McSorley in prime time. We'll take them down to basically a pick-em. Packers +11. I know Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have struggled all year, particularly defensively, but that many points in a must-win spot for Aaron Rodgers, I'll take him every time. And then I'm with Scott on the Denver Rams game. Please don't watch it. Go enjoy time with your family, open gifts, drink hot chocolate, do Christmas stuff. Don't watch this game, but do bet the under. I'm taking it up to 43.5. And then a college pick for you, bowl game. You guys are both on Arkansas, Kansas on opposite sides. I like the over. It's 69, and I like the over. And that's all I got. Scott, thank you again for the gift.
I was curious to see how he was going to end that break, but he took the high road.
I thought you would pick up seamlessly with that transition. I kind of teed it up for you. Was waiting for you to take a big swing.
Too classy over here. Old Clark Griswold and his... Look at that. There he is.
All right, when we come back, we're going to keep the Christmas fun going here. We need to have some real conversations about Christmas characters, Christmas movies. This is the part where you're going to really want to turn the TV up, record this next segment, because I think we're both going to be right. That's coming up next on All Indiana Bets. I love that picture, I do.
Okay, now, let the kids leave the room. Why are the kids watching anyway? This is an adult show, okay? You know, if you're 14 or whatever, you need to learn about football. But hey, this is about growing up as a kid. I loved so many different Christmas shows. But Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that was such a good one. And then I watch it as a dad, and I'm like, what kind of horrible person is the dad? He's like, hide that freakish nose of yours. And then he takes him out to the NFL Combine for reindeer, and all of a sudden Rudolph is jumping like he's Randy Moss, and Santa's like Andy Reid, and all of a sudden he becomes Belichick. He's like, what is going on with your freakish nose again? So then they go back to this poor kid who's working at the commune, meaning Santa's workshop. He wants to be a dentist, and he can't be a dentist because the elves and Santa want to make him do something he doesn't want to do. It's just a terrible show if you look at it that way. But instead, go back to being a kid and forget about all that crap. And that goes for everything else that you're bothered by PC-wise. Boom.
Yeah, Santa is a little surly in the Rudolph.
He's a jerk.
So if you're somebody that wants to die on the hill, that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I'm not going to fight you. But I would also argue that if you believe that, then A Christmas Story is an action movie.
Oh.
Ralphie and the Red Ryder BB gun, we've seen it a million times, it's on 24 hours. If I told you there was a new Stallone movie or Rock movie out that features somebody getting shot, somebody almost losing an eye, somebody almost losing their tongue, blood, animal cruelty, you would think, hot damn, this must be a Michael Bay movie. No, all of that happens in A Christmas Story, and I'm telling you, it should be listed as an action movie.
It's the perfect movie as far as I'm concerned. Now I know why.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Please
everyone.
be safe, and we'll talk to you next weekend
Yeah.
right here on Wish TV with all Indiana bets.